and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to nil. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to nil. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to nil. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to nil. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to nil. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to nil. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to nil. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to nil. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to nil. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to nil. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Buemo going close, Benrahma shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner, and Ollie Watkins an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. It's Alan Armstrong's goal that separates the two sides at half-time at Griffin Park. Blackburn leading by a goal to 0. Brentford, though, had all of the play in that first half. They had 70% possession and plenty of chances as well. When Mbeumo going close, Ben Rama shooting at the keeper when he could have found the corner. And Ollie Watkins, an air shot when alone inside the penalty area. De Silva's shot then being charged down. So Brentford plenty of the play. They'll be hoping to get something out of the second half. It's Brentford 0, Blackburn 1. Welcome back then to the off-tube studio commentary of the match at Griffin Park. Brentford 0, Blackburn 1 at the break. Brentford plenty of the play in that first half. Blackburn the one goal. That's the difference between the two sides. At the interval, they're out and about to restart, although there's some delay at the moment. We've lost the referee. He seems to have gone out of shot as the ball sits on the centre spot. The referee talking to a man, his assistant next to the goal.
There's a hole in the net, there seems to be. That seems to be what's holding us up now. And we'll just wait for confirmation as to whether or not that is the problem, but it certainly seemed to be something that the referee was unhappy about there.
Well, welcome back anyway. We'll get play underway again very, very soon.
Well, I'm not surprised they're checking this because, of course, it wasn't in the Bundesliga about 3 or 4 years ago.
It can go in the side, can't it? Yeah.
There was a goal that was scored inside, like into the side netting, and this was before the days of VAR in Germany. They just gave the goal.
Or equally, you could actually score. It could go through the side netting, and the referee's thinking it went wide.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's
although you could sort of fit a football through that hole. It's kind of.
I'm surprised that the referees.
The hexagons that make up the kind of the stringy bit at the back of the goal, the net, is there's kind of 2 of them have just merged.
But you, just to give a sort of visual idea, you probably need 6 or 7 of those missing for a whole ball to fit through.
You just about fit an orange through that hole, I think, rather than a football.
I think so as well. But some either the Brentford groundsman or some member of Brentford staff's going to have to get their knitting needle out just to fix this one.
So we've come back too soon. We'll stick with you. We'll talk about the first half because Brentford is nearly 70% possession in that first half ball and yet to score, and that's going to be the major frustration of the fans in that ground, for Thomas Frank and for the team as they sat down at half time.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be what Brentford need to do at the start of this second half is more of the same from the first, the only difference being that they just have to be a little bit more clinical in front of goal. And
on both sides, he's put one of those little sort of drawstring holders in place on both sides, and the job's done.
The job's done, yeah. It didn't take very long at all. They probably were just looking for those cable ties. That's probably what's caused a delay.
That's the word I was looking for, cable tie.
Absolutely, yes. But in the meantime, we've had a goal already because we're now 5 minutes behind the 12:30 Premier League game that's also kicked off, and it's now 2-0 to Chelsea. Marcus Alonso. So it's an afternoon of sort of, if you like, outcast Chelsea players getting goals, because Giroud got the first goal in the first half. He hardly ever gets a start for Chelsea, and Alonso has pretty much been farmed out to the bench this season. He gets the second goal. But finally, we are now underway here at Griffin Park.
We're back underway. 9 shots to Brentford in that first half, 6 to Blackburn. Most of those were towards the end, near the half-time whistle. 4 on target to Brentford, 2 on target to Blackburn. 65% possession, though, to the home side, and 22 touches in the opposition's box as opposed to 3 to the visitors.
But it is that side with the 3 touches that actually lead at the start of the second half. I mean, I actually think that Armstrong was probably just inside the box when he lobbed the goalkeeper David Raya. Was still a very good goal from the Blackburn number 7. But we are underway now, and it's Brentford trying to push forward.
Yeah, down the right hand side, the team in red and white. No changes to personnel at the break, as the teams line up the same way they did in that first half. Brentford trying to get some joy down the right hand side, and yet to really make too many inroads towards the penalty area. It's Ben Rama down the right there that just got dispossessed and throw into Brentford. And as he jockey for position on the edge of the penalty area, taking ages to take this throw in because he hasn't really got any men available for him. But in the end, tries to get it through, but it's been played out again for a throw in on that far side to Brentford. Tony Mowbray's lines on his face are increasing this season, but he'd be rather happy with the performance of his team since November. Top of the form table in the Championship in those months, as Brentford have won a free kick on the right-hand side on the corner of the penalty area. Bradley Johnson being penalised there for a challenge.
Yeah, the expression on Bradley Johnson's face suggesting that he doesn't necessarily agree with that decision.
Well, how often do they?
Well, they very rarely do. You're absolutely right. It's very rare that a player goes, yeah, fair enough, Riff, I don't mind that free kick at the end.
I'm back to rights, Governor. Yeah, you've got me.
Very, very rare that happens. But I suppose, I mean, this from Brentford's point of view, it's very much over on the right-hand side. And there's a committee of players standing over it now in Buemo, De Silva and Marcondes. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's at that sort of angle where you could try and whip it in straight to goal, or you could try and find a head with it as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of wind around down there. It's windy everywhere, isn't it, at the moment? But it's affecting the kind of flight of the ball when it's hit too aerial. So you'd imagine a kind of whipping shot maybe with the left foot. So taking it into the edge of the 6-yard box, hoping somebody can get a touch on it here. The referee, I think he's finally happy with the positioning of everybody in the penalty area. It's playing right-footed, actually. It's a bit low, and it's flicked away from the near post by a Blackburn foot. And in the end, it's going to be won by Blackburn on the near side. As Samuel gets it further forward, he gets it back into a defence, and then it's hoisted longer this time, but collected by a Brentford shirt in the middle of the park. It was Marcondes who tried to get on the end of that one, but he loses out as well. So it's all a little bit messy at the moment. Bell tries to get on the outside down the left-hand side, but gets robbed himself of possession. And in the end, there's a bit of a tangle on the halfway line. Blackburn end up with the ball, and he gets hauled down for his efforts, and it's all a bit of a mess, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it is a little bit, just a bit scrappy there from both teams, but it was Brentford in the end that gave the free kick away. It was Watkins that got tangled up with Travis, and then Marcondes just went into Travis without getting anywhere near the ball, so it was an easy decision for the referee.
Yes, neither side are really yet to impose themselves on this second half just yet, but the ball's played forward down the right hand side for Blackburn. The man chasing after it just keeps it in play, actually does very well there on the right hand side. Nyambo only manages to keep it in place, so it dribbles back towards David Raya in the Brentford goal. Referee's got a little bit pernickety in the first moments of this second half.
He spotted something here just after Nyambe was chasing that ball down for Blackburn. I'm not entirely sure what the referee has seen, because Brentford were ready to take the goal kick there, but I think he just wanted to check something with the linesman. We are back on the way now.
Brentford take the goal kick very short indeed. It ends up being hoisted into the midfield, but it's won back by Blackburn. Managed to get the ball down. Stuart Downing gets his just inside the Brentford half. He turns and starts to run towards the Brentford goal, but in the end he reverts to playing it back into defence. It's then thrown forward aimlessly high, and it ends up in the hands of David Raya in the Brentford goal. So Blackburn getting a little bit more possession at the start of this second half, but yet to do anything really meaningful with it.
From Blackburn's point of view, they need to frustrate Brentford. If they can keep possession, even if they don't have too much of an end product, the fact that they have the ball and Brentford don't will already be good news for them and frustration for Brentford. And just as we say that, Blackburn do win it back in midfield, but give it away straight away. Yeah,
good tussling there in the middle of the park there. Blackburn starting to look a little bit more, because they've got a bit more teeth in their tackles and everything at the moment. But Rico Henry plays the ball back into the Brentford defence, and then back towards the keeper. David Raya plays it back out into defence when Pinnock turns and plays it out to Jean-Viet, his centre-back partner, who looks further forward, feeds it back towards Marcondes, who then stretches his legs towards the halfway line, but his ball's just intercepted by the head of Stuart Downing, and Blackburn have the ball back but don't do anything with it. Marcondes gets it back, and back in the Brentford defence again. To really see any sort of pattern in this second half as Brentford try and bring it further forward again into the Blackburn half, and a good little bit of play there involving Brentford. Oh, and that's nice feet. Getting towards the penalty area now. That was really good play by Brentford. Dalsgaard getting his foot in there and skipping past a couple of challenges to Silva, then forced out towards the right hand side. Going to be a throw into Brentford, but that was just a little bit of energy injected into that play.
Yeah, just a quick skip there from Dalsgaard. Found a bit of space, and Brentford win the throw, but then their following pass from Benrahma down towards De Silva goes straight out for a goal kick.
Last time I saw Benrahma play, he was man of the match. He was brilliant. Today, he's just a little bit off it, isn't he? His passing's just a little bit off, his shooting's just a little bit off.
I think it's a reflection of how the rest of the Brentford team are playing at the moment. Everyone just seems to be a little bit below their best, and although the team are playing okay in terms of having the ball and trying to go forward, it's just not quite working out for them, and there is substitutes have been readied here for Brentford as well, just trying to see who that is. But the home side certainly feel as though might just need to sort of mix things up a little bit in midfield.
Yeah, Blackburn trying to get the ball split out to the right hand side. It's been intercepted by Brentford, bit of head tennis across the halfway line. It's going to be won by Blackburn. He'll then try and launch it further forward, but again a very aimless ball sails away in the wind and into the hands of David Raya in the Brentford goal. The flag we're seeing on the screen there, the flag is really being blown, so the kind of our suspicion that there is pretty much blowing a gale down that pitch is confirmed by that shot. So the players are starting to struggle a little bit with the wind today. It's out to the right hand side with Blackburn, who coming further forward, and then have to then get back across towards the left-hand side. Buddy Johnson out to the left, and he says play it back, and Blackburn forced right back into their own half here. Ollie Watkins is having a good run after the ball. They're putting some real pressure on, and in the end it's only just kept in on this near side, but Stuart Downing gets his foot on it and then chips the ball over the top there. Is he onside? Quite sure it's it's Adam Armstrong again, shot and well saved by David Ray. The ball's still loose in the penalty area, and he's given a penalty. David Ray stretched his arms out saying, I'm innocent, but that was a moment of madness, wasn't it? Absolute moment of madness. Adam Armstrong through, got his shot away, was well saved by David Ray, but the loose ball started to go out of his grasp, and in the end Ray penalised.
Well, Ray is penalised. I think Buckley's asking the question about maybe there should be a card here as well. Ray is having a go at Armstrong now, saying that he can't believe this. But I mean, well, I mean, Ray has gone for the ball to try and catch it. He's not caught it, and then he's fallen into Buckley. I mean, it's a good save from Ray initially to make the save. Dow's guard then gets in his way. And well, I can see why the penalty has been given. It's not the most sort of clear cut, but it's a clumsy one from the goalkeeper. And just as Brentford were looking to try and get a good start in this second half, they could potentially be put out of it here.
When he's coming out, though, his momentum is going to take him into the player, isn't it? He's to make the save.
I'm not sure every referee would have given that, but here comes Armstrong.
So right-footed into the bottom right-hand corner, and Blackburn take a 2-goal advantage at Griffin Park. It's a brace from Adam Armstrong, and it's totally against the run of play in both occasions, but Blackburn have taken a 2-0 lead.
Blackburn have taken a 2-0 lead, and David Raya still got a wry smile on his face there. A couple of Brentford players frustrated because I think Armstrong just chipped the ball into the away end, and now Brentford want to get the ball back as quickly as possible to restart play, but it really is up against Brentford now. They are 2 goals down.
We've had a second goal at Griffin Park, 53 minutes on the clock, and Blackburn have doubled their advantage. The away side getting rather fortuitous. Adam Armstrong going through on a through ball. David Raya, the goalkeeper, came out, made the first save, then the loose ball was bouncing away from him. He came to collect it, and his momentum took him into the Blackburn player. So the penalty was given. Adam Armstrong steps up, strokes it into the bottom right-hand corner, and doubled Blackburn's advantage. 2 goals to him, 2 goals to Blackburn, and it's going to be a long afternoon for Brentford unless they can get something back in this game quickly.
Well, needless to say that the next goal in this match has to be for Brentford if they're going to get anything from it. Of course, Blackburn know that if they can score a third, that is going to wrap the points up and give them a famous away win here at Griffin Park.
But the cliche is that 2-goal advantage is the worst. But surely it's good to be 2 goals advantage.
Surely is. As Mads Roslev is on now for Brentford, on for Janvier. I just wonder if this is going to change the sort of the setup here for Brentford as well. It's a bit of a surprise here to see this change so early with Janvier being taken off. Wouldn't necessarily have thought that he was the worst player. It's Mads Roslev. I normally know him as Rasmussen, I have to say, but they've got him as Roslev on our TV pictures that we're getting here for this independent off-tube studio commentary. Ball now headed up in the air. Loose ball here for Marcondes to pick up for Brentford. Finds Josh De Silva. Silva under pressure now, trying to get away from Johnson. He doesn't manage it. He wasn't fouled on this occasion, and an opportunity now for Blackburn to get forward here with Downing. He finds Niambe. Niambe down the right-hand side, puts a cross in, which deflects off Rico Henry and is kept in by Marcondes. Yeah,
Brentford trying to get the ball clear from the back. It's basically a rather aimless ball goes straight through to the Blackburn goalkeeper, Christian Walton. That's a real hammer blow to Brentford at the start of this second half. That penalty nicely dispatched by Adam Armstrong, who scored twice now in this game. So Brentford they came out in that second half. They looked at the possession stats and they said, well, we've had plenty of this game, let's go out and do the same again. And all of a sudden now they're chasing a 2-goal deficit as Blackburn come forward again, trying to toss that over the heads of the Brentford defence. It's been kept up in the wind, cleared by Brentford downfield, looking for Ollie Watkins, but foot again in by Blackburn. Stuart Downing starts to run towards the penalty area. He skips across, forced across to the left-hand side. Downing then strokes it out to the right-hand side where Niambe gets the ball, thinks about crossing it, passes it back in towards the midfield. Blackburn just keeping the ball here and having probably their most extended passing period of possession in this match so far, as Downing then turns again and starts to run towards the penalty area, played out to the right-hand side. Niambe, though, hasn't got legs that long, and the ball goes out for a throw into Brentford on this near side.
It does, yeah, just over half an hour to go in this game, so there's still plenty of time here for Brentford to get back into this match, but it's interesting that since that penalty's been scored by Blackburn, Brentford Brentford have been struggling to get out of their own half. You could just see that Blackburn are growing in confidence as well.
Ollie Watkins chests that down, but it's been kept in by Brentford, but forced back inside their own half here. Marcondes just drops his shoulder and looks out towards the right-hand side, and he hoists the ball high and long out to that right-hand side.
I'm surprised that he wasn't the first one to get the hook. I think Marcondes has had a poor afternoon.
He looked down at the pitch there to blame the pitch, but that was just bad execution.
It was, yeah, it wasn't good from him at all. Eight goals in 14 games now for Adam Armstrong.
Yeah, one of the 4 men in the division, Adam Armstrong. 2 more today, and power to add as well at Griffin Park this afternoon. 57 minutes on the clock. It remains Brentford 0, Blackburn 2. Off-tube studio-based commentary of this game in the Championship as Brentford try and get themselves back into this one. Brentford in 4th at the start of this game. Blackburn in 8th, but Blackburn are going to do their promotion credentials. No harm at all if the scoreline stays. Well, if they get 3 points out this afternoon, it'd be a great result for them.
It would. It certainly would. It gets them right into that top 6 mix. It throws things up again with Brentford dropping more points, and it just makes things that little bit more exciting towards the end of the season. But as I say, Brentford are just struggling to get into their stride now after having conceded that second goal.
Nyambo brings the ball over the halfway line and passes it down that right-hand channel. Blackburn trying to get something from this as Samuel's forced out a little bit wider. Nyambo gives him a little bit of support, but Brentford get a foot in, able to bring the ball clear. So Benrahma tackles for the ball, but again it's hoisted further forward aimlessly. Ollie Watkins got no chance of chasing that down. It's back in the hands of the Blackburn keeper, Christian Walton. It's always good as well, these top of the table matches where both teams are looking for promotion. If you can get one over one of your rivals, you not only have 3 points to your tally, but you deny them the opportunity to win a game as well. So it is the proverbial 6-pointer this. So Brentford come forward down that right hand side. Cross comes in, nicely chested out there by the Blackburn defender. Gets the second chance to clear it this time, trying to play it out their own penalty area. Gets that all wrong in the end, and it goes out for a corner to Brentford. It's a good idea, but Blackburn's execution of that passing movement out of their own defence wasn't necessarily played very well. It's going to be a chance for Brentford to get a corner on that far side. You see fans, they start screaming when there's a corner, but there's a stat that only about 6% of corners lead to a scoring opportunity, and only about 3% of them actually end up with goals.
That's true, but I suppose it's that congregation of players in and around the box. It's that promise that something could happen. Whereas from open play, there's always that that uncertainty. But yeah, statistically, corners aren't the most effective way of scoring. Sometimes it's the second and third phase after a rebound. There's more pushing and shoving now on the goal line.
Yeah, there's lots of it. There's about 6 players congregated on the goal line at the moment around the goalkeeper Christian Walton, as they're all protesting their innocence and holding their hands up, but still pushing each other as that Brentford corner's thrown in long towards the back post. In the end it just drifts out on the wind, and that was poor from Brentford. That's why the stats are so low, isn't it, with execution like that.
But I mean, as you say, if you're going to float a ball, if you're going to put a right-footed cross in from the right-hand side with a bit of height as well, it is going to blow away. And again, it's that man Marcondes. It looks like he's going to get the hook now. It doesn't surprise me at all, because he's had a tough old afternoon. Marcondes is off, and Shandon Baptiste is on in his place.
Shandon Baptiste, he's not long been at Brentford.
No, one of 2 signings towards the end of the transfer window brought in from Oxford United.
Oxford are doing well in their respective leagues, so it's a play with confidence, moving up a step in his career as the goalkeeper takes the goal kick and sends it towards the halfway line, but he gave that a real hoof, and it only came down just on the halfway line. So the wind is definitely blowing from right to left on our screen behind Brentford as they attack from right to left. There's Blackburn with the ball at their feet. Nyambo back into defence. Sometimes the wind, having the wind behind you doesn't always help you, does it? Because it kind of takes the through balls too far away.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it can certainly hinder the opposition because they can't clear the ball as easily. But it also means that your team can't judge exactly how that ball's going.
If you're attacking into the wind, you can almost hold your through ball up on the wind, can't you? Like as a golfer would do, sort of holding it up onto the green. But Brentford have a throw in here. Thomas Frank's querying something with the official on the touchline. But, it's Brentford with possession deep inside their own half, played back towards the keeper. Brentford have got 29 minutes of normal time at Griffin Park to do something about this 2-0 deficit. certainly not been the worst team on the pitch as that ball's played over to Ollie Watkins. Was he onside? He plays it first time. What a goal that is. If he was onside, that is an absolute streamer. And Ollie Watkins, we talked about how good a player he is. He took that down on his chest. In one movement, he turned and followed it into the top right-hand corner. That was just quality.
Fantastic from Ollie Watkins. Well, you say if he's offside, there is no VAR in the Championship, so he is onside. Even if he wasn't, we'll see from this replay. I'd say that he's level there, but when this ball finds him, he takes it down on the chest, one touch, and it's a fantastic volley. No chance for Christian Walton at all, and we're just under half an hour. It's game on.
Who played the through ball there? That was a good ball through to him, wasn't it?
Dalsgaard from deep. It was the Danish international. Excellent ball over the top. Watkins control on the chest, and a bouncing ball volleyed into the back of the net. Great opportunity now for Brentford to get back into it.
We were looking for a response from Brentford, 2-0 down at home to Blackburn. Well, the response has come, and it's come in the form of Ollie Watkins. What a goal that was. Dalsgaard floating a ball over the top, taken down on his chest by Ollie Watkins, and in one fluid movement, turns and thumps a right-footed volley into the top right-hand corner. Brentford needed that. They have reduced the deficit to 2-1 down at home to Blackburn. But what a piece of quality from Ollie Watkins. He's showing why he's one of the most feared strikers in the Championship. It's Brentford 1, Blackburn 2.
It is 2-1 to Blackburn now, but Brentford with that goal back certainly give themselves a really good fighting chance now with just under half an hour to go, and they won the ball back in midfield now. Here is Benrahma getting towards the edge of the area. Here is Benrahma still under pressure from Travis. Travis puts a challenge in. Is he going to get there before? I think it has. He's just about made that. I think it's not going to be a corner kick, just a throw. It is going to be a corner kick now, though. I think the linesman was pointing that it should be a corner kick in the first place. Referee just coming across here to have a word with his assistant. I'm not entirely sure what this was about, because it looked to me like Travis had slid in and kept the ball out from going out for a corner, and I think that has happened in the end. So it is now Roslev to take this throw for Brentford down the right-hand side. It goes out for another throw after a deflection off Amari Bell. Brentford still in possession at the edge of the Blackburn penalty area. Ball floated back now to Roslev. He tries to keep it in play, manages it, gets it back towards Benrahma, who has absolutely skied that. That one is out of the stadium.
That was poor, wasn't it? Benrahma, who's got such quality. When he's on song, he's a really good player. He's not showing that today, and he just leant back on that shot. Some really good play down the right-hand side by Brentford. Gets the ball stabbed back towards him, and that was nowhere near goal, and he knows it. He goes down on his knees, head in his hands. Thomas Frank tries to encourage his team. He wants, if they were looking for a quick bang-bang to get back on level terms, well, we got the first bang. Benrahma had the chance for the second and blew it.
He blew it, but Brentford will be confident they can win the ball back quickly and try and get forward again. Blackburn are going to be back on their haunches now, knowing that they're only one goal away from being level. In the meantime, Rovers are making their first change of the afternoon, and it's John Buckley going off to be replaced by Sam Gallagher.
Sam Gallagher makes his way onto the turf. Benrahma, kind of his face there, it shows you how a striker works, and momentum. I see this Brentford attack, a poor ball actually, and it's going to be cleared away, but it's actually a poor clearance too. Brentford still have the ball on the left-hand side, played back in towards the edge of the penalty area, not quite controlled by Benrahma. In the end, it's going to fizzle out and go behind for a goal kick. In fact, the Blackburn players cannot believe the referee's pointing towards the corner flag. Their heads go back in absolute disbelief. We'll see the replay here. And it does actually slide off the shin of the Blackburn defender there, I think. So I think the referee's got that right.
I think Travis he'll feel hard done by there, but there's certainly an argument to say that it could have been a corner.
7 corners to none, Brentford. And if they get enough, they might start 6% actually leading to something. Well, they're going to get round to that 6%, aren't they, if they get too many more?
Absolutely. They're sticking without swingers, though. They have the same on the right-hand side with Marcondes putting it straight out the previous corner. We'll see what De Silva can do with this one.
Momentum is with Brentford in this game, getting that goal back and the confidence that that's going to give them. Plenty of men committed forward to this, but plenty of men back for Blackburn as that goes out towards the penalty area. And that was a snapshot from around about the penalty spot, blazes it over.
Great effort there, Ethan Pinnock. As I say, the ball just ends up on his left foot and he decides to hit it first time. If this goes on target, in the end it's sort of skewed quite a long way wide there by Ethan Pinnock, but if they made that same connection with the shot on target, goalkeeper would have had no chance.
Yeah, so good opportunity, but it came through probably on sight, probably came through a few bodies as well. So it didn't quite get it right. Brentford getting their opportunities, taking one of them. Can they get another one to get back on level terms here? 24 minutes left at Griffin Park. It's Blackburn coming forward. Men down the right-hand side here. Cuts back inside. Good run though. He's ends up cleared by Brentford. It's up as far as Ollie Watkins, but he's wrestled out of possession. And the ball's played out to the left-hand side. Good challenge there from Darragh Lennon, the Blackburn captain. He's back with Brentford inside their own just outside their own penalty area. They feed the ball forward. A chance for them to break forward. Ollie Watkins making a run down the middle. He's played out to the right-hand side where Benrahma picks it up. He's got two men in front of him in Blackburn shirts, but he's put his foot on it and plays it out to the right-hand side. Cross comes in, but it's coming too low and too short. It's cleared comfortably by Blackburn. They're back in possession for Brentford. Benrahma plays it out to the right-hand side. It's shot from distance, and that goes well over the crossbar.
Yeah, De Silva just not getting the right connection on that one. A bit too much height, doesn't get the curl, and it's over the bar. But certainly a good response this from Brentford, having scored that goal to get them back into the game. They're certainly putting more and more pressure here on Blackburn.
So, I was just going to say before one of those attacks recently, Benrahma's face is showing kind of as a striker, confident strikers see the ball come across to them. They know where the goal is. They more often than not bang it into the back of the net. At the moment, Benrahma's doubting himself. He's had such a bad game. His shooting boots have been left at home. He's not kind of welcoming the ball at the moment. He's not looking for it.
It's almost like he doesn't want it. You're absolutely right. But De Silva's been looking for the ball all afternoon. Gets it into Benrahma.
Here is Benrahma.
To the edge of the area.
It would have just been Murphy's law if he'd ducked his shoulders there and screened one into the top corner, but he doesn't. Brentford are forced back inside their own half and nearly robbed there by Blackburn, and it's Blackburn going forward down that right-hand side. Samuel gets his foot in there and he wins a throw-in, and that's important stuff from the Blackburn player. Takes the possession away from Brentford, keeps the ball inside the Brentford half, and that's really good play by Samuel.
It is, yeah. Blackburn are getting ready to make their second change as well. So they're looking to try and shore things up, of course, with this lead that they have at the moment. They want to be able to hold on to that until the end of the match. It's Rovers in possession now, still inside the Brentford half.
We've seen a really good second half so far at Griffin Park. It's Brentford 1, Blackburn 2. We saw Adam Armstrong double his tally from the penalty spot early on in this second period. And an absolute screamer from Ollie Watkins, the Brentford striker, taking it down on his chest and flashing a volley from just outside the penalty area into the top right-hand corner. Real quality from the Brentford striker. And we have a penalty as well as we speak. So it's all happening at Griffin Park. 69 minutes on the clock. Brentford going to get their opportunity to get back on level terms. Brentford 1, Blackburn 2.
Well, as we've said throughout this match, this referee has given us a real sort of combination of inconsistency, really. He's let a couple of fouls go, he's let a couple of things slide, and then he gave Blackburn what I thought was a fairly soft penalty. And again, I mean, Roslev breaking into the penalty area there. I'm not quite sure how much contact there is there with Johnson. Bit of a knee across maybe, but...
you can see why it's been given. You could
just like with the first one, but you could also find arguments to say that he's almost looking to go down himself, but the referee is very quick to decide that it is going to be a penalty.
I will re-record that update after I've seen the results of this penalty, but I'll hand over the commentary to you now.
Thank you very much, James. Yes, so a great opportunity now here for Brentford to get an equaliser here with 20 minutes to go. Buemo then just trying to find space at the edge of the deep. Benrahma is just taking the penalty. James has already told us that he's just not looked... Well, you're right to say he has looked a little bit off this afternoon. A couple of poor shots, a couple of efforts that could have been better, but it's Benrahma who steps up. He sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and with exactly 20 minutes to go in this game, it is all square at Griffin Park. It's Brentford 2, Blackburn 2.
Never in doubt, was it? He was going to put that, he just rolled that as casually as you like, as confident as you like, into that bottom right-hand corner. And Benrahma opens his account for the afternoon after not looking like he was going to get the ball anywhere near the back of the net all afternoon. Strikes the penalty in as cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, Walton sort of made it look as though he might wait until the last minute, but then he dives just before Benrahma steps up, guesses the wrong way, and it's 2-2.
It's all happening at Griffin Park. We've seen an absolutely superb second half so far. It's Brentford 2, Blackburn 2. We've just seen Benrahma stroke the ball into the bottom right-hand corner from the penalty spot. Prior to that, Ollie Watkins takes a ball from Dalsgaard onto his chest just outside the penalty area and fired in a volley into the top right-hand corner. An absolute screamer of a goal. And Adam Armstrong, earlier on in the piece, at the start of the second half, had put the ball in the back of the net for the second time himself from the penalty spot. It remains Brentford 2, Blackburn 2, 19 minutes to play. We've got an absolute corker on our hands.
We certainly do. A clumsy one there, though. A clumsy challenge on Dominic Samuel, just at the edge of the Brentford penalty area. It's a slide tackle that was never close to getting the ball, and an easy decision there for the referee, and also a really good opportunity this for Blackburn, because it's only a couple of yards from the edge of the Brentford penalty area, over on the right-hand side. So left footer Stuart Downing is the natural candidate to take this, or see if he wants to shoot or if he wants to pick out a teammate, because there are a fair few Blackburn players waiting in the box. Downing goes for goal, but it's similar to the Armstrong effort in the first half from Blackburn, in that he gets it over the wall, but it's not in the corner of the goal, so an easy save for Raya. Raya bowls this out quickly as well, forcing Nyambe to come back and make a strong challenge. He puts it out for a throw to Brentford. And Brentford have gained so much territory just by that one long throw, because now they have a throw at the edge of the Blackburn penalty area. So
you've got to say it's Brentford's for the taking now. They've come back from 2-0 down. We said it's the worst scoreline to have. It's the worst lead to have, 2-0. It's back to 2 apiece. Brentford got all the play and starting to get the confidence that goes with that.
Yeah, well, they've come back a couple of times already this season, so this wouldn't be the first time. And as they go forward now with De Silva, gets the ball into the penalty area, taken down by Benrahma. It's a tight angle. Benrahma still has the ball. He couldn't quite find the teammate. He was looking for Mbeumo, who was just waiting at the edge of the 6-yard box. Ball now hooked away towards the halfway line, kept in play by Dalsgaard. Finds Roslev. Roslev now plays it up towards Mbeumo, back towards Norgard. He lifts that ball out towards the right-hand side, just over the head of De Silva, though, out for a Blackburn throw.
Starting to really pick up this game now, hasn't it? It's been good all the way through, to be fair, but Blackburn starting to go back within their shell a little bit. They had a little bit of a period at the start of this first half where they came out of the blocks quite nicely. Just going to replay that penalty appeal. It does look soft, doesn't it? It does look really soft. But
there's very, very little contact, really, between Johnson and Roslev. And as I say, he already seems to be sort of losing his balance. There's a change here for Blackburn. It's their second of the afternoon. It's Elliot Bennett, one of the Bennett brothers, coming on here for Dominic Samuel.
Yeah, Dominic Samuel, I thought had a good game today, but he's been changed as I've been trying keep things going for the remaining 17 minutes of this game. Tony Mowbray's got plenty of questions to answer at the moment with 17 minutes going. He's got his head in his hands on the touchline at the moment. That's quite expressive, wasn't it, from the Blackburn manager?
He's had a sort of roller coaster this afternoon. I mean, as I say, he's been very quietly just sort of watching his Blackburn side do great things over the last few months. I dare say that in the long run he probably feels as though he may be due a job at his beloved Middlesbrough as well, of course, if that opportunity for him to go back to the North East presented itself. You mentioned, of course, at the start, Blackburn are second in the league, as well as being top of the league on form in the last 3 or 4 months. They are second in the league in terms of dropping points from winning positions, and potentially they've already dropped 2 points this afternoon, could even be all 3.
And the players know that as well. You know, it's kind of the culture of winning becomes a habit. The culture of losing becomes a habit. And
conceding last-minute goals, that becomes a habit as well. You see that with certain teams, don't you?
As a Leeds fan, the amount of times I've sat at Ellen Road,
but in the meantime,
Armstrong goes through on goal.
And it's Armstrong, a great opportunity, and Raya comes out, doesn't commit himself too soon, stops the run. Armstrong was there pretty much ready for his hat-trick.
That was a really good save, wasn't it? Came out, narrowed the angles, and denied Adam Armstrong before he could really pull the trigger there.
And here come Brentford now, going through the middle here is Baptiste, and he finds Mbeumo at the edge of the area. Mbeumo with the left-footed strike. Good save there from Walton. It's parried out, and it's a throw to Brentford on the left-hand side.
Well, that's 1-0 to the keepers in the last minute, because that's a good save as well at the other end, as Brentford try and get in ahead in this game for the first time.
Yeah, ball played through to the edge of the area, and Baptiste just a little bit too keen to win that one back. A foul, Stara Lenihan, as far as the referee is concerned, and then he stops Lenihan from taking a quick free kick as well. So Blackburn will just wait for their goalkeeper to come out and take this one now.
I was just going to say before we got that exciting end-to-end stuff with the shot at one end. Good save though from both keepers. But when your team's not quite as confident as it should be, you kind of, even if you've got a lead in a game, you kind of watch them at the ground, don't you? And they're almost sucking the ball into their own net in the last 10 minutes. They're sitting back so deep.
It becomes a honestly.
bet on the match.
Who gets the highest amount?
The last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market. It's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck.
B.
Our next football commentary match
Who
is
gets the
getting ever
highest
nearer, so
will be?
why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play bet opportunities. Good luck. Real threat, isn't he? Does excite people when he has the ball. It's Palace coming forward, looking for IU, but it's cleared away by Newcastle. It's picked up and brought across the halfway line. Linton's making a run further forward, but in the end it's Palace that get the foot in and bring the ball away with Wilfried Zaha. He's got two men on him again. He goes to ground. This time the referee does put the whistle to his mouth and gives a yellow card to Almiron as well for that challenge.
I'd love to know how many players have been booked for fouls on Wilfried Zaha, because there can't be many more players that not only win free kicks for their teams but also get other opposition players yellow cards. And there's another prime example. Almiron doesn't need to go to ground there really, but he's basically he's an attacking player being asked to do a defensive job, and he was a fish out of water and panicked and made a challenge which has not only given away a dangerous free kick but also got himself booked.
Jack Grealish probably heads the chart, doesn't he? Because he gets most fouls against him.
Yes.
Whether he gets bookings in the process, I'm not quite so sure.
Definitely gets the most fouls. That is undisputed, I think, this season. But I'm not sure about the bookings now.
It's going to be Van Arlenholt who's going to take this free kick just outside the penalty area. He curls one towards the penalty spot, a diving header, and it's IU again trying to get on the end of that. He does get on the end of that, and he guides his header straight into the hands of Dubravka in the Newcastle goal. They bowls it out. Newcastle trying to get something going down the left-hand side. Joel Linton trying to run. He beats one, but can't just overrun it a little bit. Too heavy in the footwork there, and ends up diving himself into the penalty area without the ball. Palace are going to bring it out right-hand side. Goals elsewhere. We'll keep you up to date with the Premier League scores as we go through this afternoon. It's Newcastle at the moment on the halfway line. Have the ball out wide on the left. Danny Rose plays it back into his defensive colleagues. It goes across the middle of the park. But again, Crystal Palace more than happy to let Newcastle have possession just outside their own penalty area. They're not going to cause too much damage from there. Palace just enjoying a little bit of a breather, watching the Newcastle defenders passing it square. So not really going too far. Newcastle have just come into the game a little bit more over the last 5 or 10 minutes. Now Maximum has shown his pace and his qualities. To get out their own half here while I've been talking, it's just a little bit laboured, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just trying to settle down a bit. You know, they've obviously seen that they are vulnerable when Crystal Palace have the ball. They're just trying to take the sting out of the game here, play a long period of possession. They've actually worked it through a line there and found Lazaro. Yeah, it's out on the right-hand side into Maximum. He's taken up a bit more of a central role in this last few minutes, and he displays that one out to Danny Rose on the left-hand side. Forces the former left back for England back a little bit, and the ball's played across to the right-hand side. It's nicely controlled by Almiron. He gets it back, keeps possession. Newcastle still coming forward, so Maximum picks it up again in the central position, looks forward, can't quite get to the ball in any kind of dangerous area. Tries the Hollywood ball out to the right-hand side to Lorenzo, and he can't control it, goes out for a throw-in. So Newcastle getting better, still not the finished article. About 10 minutes to half-time at Selhurst Park. Still Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle United 0, and but for that glaring miss from Christian Benteke, it would be a deserved lead for Palace. They've been much the better side so far. Just prior to the Benteke miss, the free kick that brought that chance was given away by Nabil Bentaleb, but he could have a problem later on, Bentaleb, because it was for kicking the ball away in descent after fouling Jordan Ayew, and really for a midfielder of his kind of profile, he'll have to get through a lot of work, a lot of challenges today. To be on a yellow card from so early on in the game could be a problem. James McCarthy also yellow carded, and now Miguel Almiron is the third player into the referee's notepad for a foul on Wilfried Zaha. The two wingers in this game, I'd say probably Alan Saint-Maximin is just shading it over Zaha, who's often faced with two defenders, but Saint-Maximin got to the byline, got a decent ball into the near post. Joel Linton couldn't quite stretch for it though, and it was cleared by Crystal Palace. Still Newcastle 0, Crystal Palace 0.
It's that man, Saint-Maximin, who has the ball again, and again showing his trickery. Turns on a sixpence, puts out a beautiful ball to Lorenzo on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Now, can we get decent delivery from Newcastle? Gets it into the edge of the 6-yard box. It headed away by Gary Cahill, I think, and it's going to be picked up by Newcastle again, just on the edge of the area. Recycled possession with Longstaff out to the right-hand side again. Saint-Maximin this time enters the penalty area. Got two men on it, puts it back to the edge of the D, shot from distance, and that goes blazing over and wide from Bentaleb. He's got a yellow card, but he's forgotten to bring his shooting boots today. Left-footed effort, never really threatening the back of the Crystal Palace net. 35 minutes gone, still goalless at Selhurst Park, but the action has been pretty much end-to-end. Well, certainly end, and then to the other end, because Newcastle haven't had quite so much of the play.
I mean, in terms of entertainment value, I think it's been fine. We were a little bit concerned earlier that this might be a game where there's not many goals, but for a 0-0, there's been chances, there's been excitement. Goalkeepers have definitely had their part to play in keeping it 0-0.
Absolutely, you can get some very poor 0-0s, but you can get some good ones. This is kind of probably 6 out of 10 on the 0-0 scale. So Longstaff puts in a slightly robust challenge, gets penalised for his efforts. Crystal Palace having a free kick just about a third of the way into the Newcastle half. Newcastle get plenty of men back to defend this one. Bentaleb's back there, got to be careful, as Simon says. It's going to be Van Arnold who's going to take the free kick from just actually inside the centre circle. And plenty of men gone forward here. Some men running around. Van Arnold studying who's ahead of him. He chips it forward to the right-hand side of the penalty area. It's chested down though, cleared away by Newcastle. It's going to be picked up by St Maximin, but control just lets it down and allows Van Arnold to get in. McCarthy picks up the ball on the right-hand side. Plays it forward again for Benteke on that occasion. It's been cleared away. St Maximin inside to Joel Linton. Passes it out to Danny Rose on the left-hand side as Newcastle try and get something going. Good ball from Danny Rose out to that left-hand side. Almiron tries to use his trickery, but he can't. He fools himself. The Crystal Palace defenders loses out. It's cleared away. It's up by Benteke on the halfway line. He does well actually to beat a couple of challenges in turn, but in the end Newcastle rob him of the ball. Newcastle get the ball back in their own half, back to Dubravka in the goal. And, patient stuff from Newcastle for the most time. This time though, they go long. Dubravka looks for Joel Linton on that left-hand side, but Joel Linton's not able to control it. Crystal Palace hook it forward, looking for the run of Wilfried Zaha, but he was a little bit too slow onto the one. Dubravka comes out, Newcastle get the ball away to the left-hand side. Slightly overhit pass, but Joel Linton does well to keep it in on that far side. So Crystal Palace are judged to have bundled over Danny Rose there. He ends up on his backside, and the free kick goes to Newcastle.
Yeah, Joel Linton, I initially was about to criticise him for not holding the ball up but then Lazaro tried to pick him out with that really long-range ball, and he did well to keep it in for Danny Rose. Danny Rose won the free kick, so 6 of one, half dozen the other. It's just inconsistent as he can't quite. If you're a player that's playing alongside Joel Linton, you don't know whether the ball's going to bounce off his knee or whether it is going to stick. So how can you make a run if you just don't know what's going to happen?
And they've been robbed here, and it's Crystal Palace coming forward with danger. It's Zaha with the ball. This nearly falls in the end to James McArthur. Lascelles is the man with the challenge, and it's the man with the too heavier challenge. He goes into the book as well. Another one of the players in the referee's book. Just a little bit too clumsy there on his challenge. Bundles Zaha over. Crystal Palace have a free kick in a dangerous position themselves now.
Yeah, on the Zaha yellow card count, that's 2 for today. I wonder if he can get a hat-trick at some point.
Do you reckon he gets sponsored? Got a sponsorship. If you go over 3, you can give me 10 pence or whatever. Yeah. It's going to be, it's not shooting range this from Palace. It's going to be Van Arnold to do his usual little chip into the penalty area. So 6 or 7 men come forward for this one in a Palace shirt. So Van Arnold surveys the scene. So 6 minutes left of this first half, plus whatever stoppage time the referee goes for. Crystal Palace make their better possession tells. That's a poor ball from Van Arnold, but it's been well kept in by Palace, out to McArthur, and then it's Zaha on the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's attempt to get the ball across, just hits a shin of a Newcastle player. Get it further forward, but Palace just recycle possession again, but it's been picked up by Longstaff in midfield, and he plays a beautiful ball out to Joel Linton. He's taking it down, and he's into the penalty area. His left-footed chance to get the ball across there, tried to cross it, and it's come off a Palace defender for a corner. Maybe a more confident striker might have gone for goal there.
Great ball from Longstaff, though. I mean, that was absolutely sensational ball to release Joel Linton.
It was Almiron making the run towards the back post he tried to find, wasn't it?
I'm just thinking, has he perhaps given himself the best chance of producing end product there by slowing down when the ball came to him? He's perhaps waiting for support.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, as a striker, you perhaps, other strikers would want to see somebody have a shot there, maybe than try and wait for the chance to go to another player.
Lorenzo takes the corner. Joel Linton was up for it, but it's been cleared, but only as far as St Maximum. Shot comes in, but it's been charged down, and now Crystal Palace turn, and they're on their way towards the Newcastle goal. It's Just balked a little bit this attack, but it's played out to this left-hand side. Jordan Ayew has picked it up and starting to run at the Newcastle defenders, gets it onto his right foot, tries a curler, and it's just past the far post. Jordan Ayew, he's getting closer. He's had a few chances in this first half, getting closer.
Yeah, he's popped up in some very good positions, hasn't he? And he's had shots with left and right foot. On this occasion, out on the left, little step over, feint to step over, and then trying to bend it in from that corner of the penalty area into the far post. I think probably Dubravka may have had it covered anyway, but it was enterprising play from Ayew. He's had a good season, hasn't he? Let's face it. He's been one of the bright sparks for Crystal Palace, and without him, without his goals in the early part of the season, you wonder where they'd be in the table.
Absolutely. I wonder if anybody's told him his brother scored to try and motivate him. Maybe that's a good motivation for him. But it's Newcastle coming forward down the left-hand side this time. He's getting a little bit more end-to-end now as Newcastle do come into it. Almiron plays it back in towards Maximum. Back to Almiron. And back in field into the midfield. Almiron tries to get the cross in too deep. There's no in the back post, but it's been headed on by Van Aanholt as far as Lorenzo, who's picked up the ball on this right-hand side. Gets the 1-2. Back onto his left foot. Back onto his right foot. Trying to shimmy his way into a shot. It's in the end. It's Longstaff who tries to get his body into the right shape to bend it into that top left-hand corner. Gets it all wrong and it goes well over the crossbar. Longstaff, I've seen him score a couple of goals like that. It was the FA Cup replay. He scored an absolute beauty from that sort of position. But I think Steve Bruce has come out and said that he's challenged him to try and score more goals, but he's not going to do it with shooting like that.
I think when he first came into the Newcastle team, people were thinking, what a player we've got here. Longstaff, seemed to do it all. He was almost like the second coming of Steven Gerrard or something like that. I think obviously expectations have been a bit lowered. He's coming back. He has come back from injury this season and hasn't quite hit those heights. I think his performance today has been fine.
Yeah, he's a decent player, isn't he?
It's going to take a while before people start comparing him to being a potential England player for the future.
He's a decent player, but sort of Steven Gerrard comparison is probably a little bit too lofty. A little bit too lofty. It's Crystal Palace again who have put Newcastle under a little bit of threat here. We're coming up to 2 minutes left of this first half. It's Crystal Palace who have a free kick, probably about 6 yards outside the D, just bordering on the left as you look away from goal. Van Aanholt's left foot probably favoured for this one. He's over the ball. And he's being left alone. McCarthy's come to join him actually.
Former Sunderland player, isn't he, Patrick Van Aanholt? So I think all those Black Cats fans will be willing him on to take this free kick and find the breakthrough.
I wonder if any Newcastle fans have reminded him of that Odebash sack.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's a target for the away supporters today, Van Aanholt, just because of that.
Lascelles and Kouyaté just getting a little bit of a chat too from the referee, but this time he keeps the cards inside his wallet. And 4 men in the wall that have been lined up by Martin Dubravka here. He's been joined actually by Danny Rose as Rose has walked away. Referee's drawn a nice crooked line on the floor, so the ball's going to be trying to keep straight on that line. Dubravka's happy with his wall. Van Aanholt takes 3 or 4 paces back. He's got McCarthy next to him who stood closer to the ball, but I think Van Aanholt's favourite here. Favours him just on the kind of right hand side of the wall. McCarthy just kind of feigns to kind of take up his own run up here. I think Van Aanholt probably will take it. He skips forward, hits it with his left foot, and he's put that in the top left-hand corner. That is an absolute cracker from Crystal Palace. Patrick Van Aanholt has belted that free kick in. He could not have placed that any better. Martin Dubravka, who's having a very good season in the Newcastle net, he could do nothing about it.
And Crystal Palace have taken the lead at Selhurst Park just before half-time. Martin Dubravka given no chance from a free kick, smacked into the top corner by Patrick Van Aanholt, the former Sunderland player. He just stepped up and popped it into the far corner. Possibly Dubravka maybe just behind the wall rather than covering the open side, but can understand why he's not been able to get on that. It was so well struck by Van Aanholt that it was in the back of the net before the Slovak keeper had a chance to react. Newcastle United have been under the cosh for the majority of the 44 minutes so far, and they finally succumbed right on the stroke of half-time. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0.
Yeah, you can't say that Crystal Palace don't deserve that goal. They're taking the lead at home. Martin Dubravka got a little bit of a grimace on his face, but I don't think he was really at fault for that. It's just a really well-taken free kick from Patrick Van Aanholt. We've ticked over to 45 minutes. So there you go, message to my former club, Sunderland. I have just scored against Newcastle. Thank you very much. Newcastle coming forward there down the left to try and get something back at the end of this first half. Ball chipped forward towards Almiron. headed away by the Palace defence for a throw-in on that far side. It's going to be thrown actually to Newcastle in the end. Didn't see how much added time at the end of this first half. I think it all got a bit scrambled in the goal celebrations, but yeah, just the 1 minute of added time. So we're about 20 seconds away from the referee blowing the whistle. Roy Hodgson's side can be pretty pleased with how they've played this first half. They've had plenty of the possession and they're coming forward again down that right-hand channel. It's been cleared away by the Newcastle defence. It's been a decent show by Palace so far. They've had a couple of forays forward from Newcastle of note, but Palace have tended to be in the side that looked the most likely and fully deserved that they've gone ahead just before the break.
Yeah, Christian Benteke will be feeling a bit better about himself after that miss.
Yeah, you won't want to see that again, I don't think. It's a miss that most of us could probably have put away. It's harder to steer it wide of the post than it was to actually hit the back of the net with it. So Patrick Van Aanholt has done Benteke a favour there. I think that's half time. The referee has blown up before the break. Palace go in with a 1-goal lead.
Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Aanholt popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made 2 excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Aanholt free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United. Of note, that was a shot from distance. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Aanholt popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made 2 excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Aanholt free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United. Of note, that was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Aanholt popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made 2 excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Aanholt free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United. Of note, that was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Aanholt popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made 2 excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Aanholt free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United. Of note, that was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Aanholt popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made 2 excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Aanholt free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United. Of note, that was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Aanholt popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made 2 excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Aanholt free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United. Of note, that was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Aanholt popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made 2 excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Aanholt free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United. Of note, that was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick Van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made two excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously been unbeatable. He made 2 excellent saves to deny Gary Cahill and Scott Dan earlier as Palace piled the pressure on. They also wasted a gilt-edged opportunity through Christian Benteke from a Van Arnold free kick, which he inexplicably headed wide. Only one real chance for Newcastle United of note. That was a shot from distance from Joe Linton that was tipped over by Vicente Gaeta. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Half-time at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0. Right on the stroke of half-time, Patrick van Arnold popping a superb left-footed free kick into the top corner past Martin Dubravka, who'd previously... welcome back. We're underway, second half at Selhurst Park. That goal right on half-time would have been such a sickener to Newcastle and manager Steve Bruce as they went into the dressing room at half-time. Now they've got to chase the game. They've got to get more production out of their forward players, particularly Almiron, who's been very much a peripheral figure so far. Joe Linton has tried his best, and St Maximum shown some moments of quality, but really nothing really consistent to get too excited about for Newcastle fans. They've got the ball now at the back with Cher playing it across to Fernandez, and he goes splits the difference, goes back to Jamal Lascelles. On clearance from Cher is punted into Palace territory, straight to the goal scorer Van Arnold, and he tidies it up by knocking it back to Gaeta. Aerial ball drops in midfield. I think the wind is definitely with Newcastle in this second half, so they might be able to use that to their advantage to try and get back into the game.
It's strange, on the game I watched this earlier on today, it was when they were playing against the wind they actually had the advantage because they were holding the through balls up in the wind.
Yeah, it's going to be obviously some adaptation to the conditions, but you think these players will be used to it. No changes at half-time, should mention either for either team. It looks like they've come back with the same teams that finished the first half. And 4 yellow cards in total in that first period as well. 3 for Newcastle players, 2 for fouls on Wilfred Zaha. I thought Alan St Maxim could have got a yellow card as well just before half-time for another foul on Wilfred Zaha, but he got away with it. The referee decided that it wasn't worthy of a card. I think he allowed play on at the time, could have gone back and booked him later, but didn't. So it is 1-0 to Palace, and they've got the throw in to be taken by Van Arnold. He lobs it down the line. Half controlled by Benteke. Now MacArthur bustles forward back to Ayew this time. He's got into traffic problems and goes all the way back to Cahill, and Cahill in turn sends it back to Gaeta. I hope that Palace continue to look for another goal in this game. I hope they don't go into defensive mode. They scored right before half-time, so whatever was said at half-time, I'm sure would be, let's get a second goal, let's kill this game off as soon as possible, but it can be the case that Van Arnold makes a good run forward, puts the ball back into the penalty, a good chance here for a second goal. It's hit the post. Jordan Ayew it is, who has hit the woodwork with a really well-crafted opportunity set up by Patrick Van Arnold.
Well, I said at the end of the first half that Ayew was getting closer and closer. Well, he's now hitting the woodwork. That was a really neat piece of play by Crystal Palace. Ayew seizing on the opportunity there, just couldn't quite steer his shot inside the post there. Just a little bit of a snapshot. The keeper was beaten, I think.
He was. Good opportunity. He just sort of let the ball run across his body and passed it towards the goal. I think Dubravka was waving that one goodbye as it came back off the outside of the woodwork and went dead.
Next time he'll score. He's getting closer and closer. Yeah. He's got to be on the inside of the post by then to time he gets another shot.
Yeah, and I've checked out the stats at half-time, James, about when was the last time, or have these two brothers, the Ayew brothers, scored on the same day before? And of course they have. I think they both scored on the same day for Swansea City once, actually. Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 0.
If you're Mr. and Mrs. Ayew, which of the sons do you go and watch, do you think? Do you go to choose the Premier League route, or do you...
Whichever team thinks going to win. Which probably Swansea this season, to be honest, but Palace have a free kick now. Van Arnold to take it. Sends it deep into the penalty area. Heads go up, and it's just wide at the far post. Cahill, I think it was, who batters the post in frustration at not having found the target there. It was a lovely free kick. Again, Van Arnold playing a key role there with his delivery, but Cahill couldn't quite get it on target.
Yeah, he got really into a really good position there, didn't he? Gary Cahill arriving at that back post, got above everybody. Just a good bit of defending, actually, just put him off a little bit, and ends up putting his head just wide of the post there. But I think Dubravka got across and was possibly going to be able to block that.
We've only played a few minutes in the second half at Crystal Palace. It's Palace 1, Newcastle 0, but Palace could be 3-0 up. They've had two great opportunities to extend their advantage. Some sloppy Newcastle defending, but Patrick Van Arnold burst down the left-hand side, got a good cut back to the penalty spot where Jordan Ayew let the ball run across his body and struck the outside of the post with a side foot effort, which probably would have had Martin Dubravka beaten. Then moments later, a free kick was driven in by Van Arnold. His delivery's been excellent today, and he picked out Gary Cahill, making a last man run at the far post, but his header was off target. Cahill beating the post in frustration that he couldn't keep that one on target and possibly make it 2-0. Still Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0.
Crystal Palace into the area again, and it's going to be Ayew as well. Oh, he's just been tripped over there. I say tripped over, he's fallen over, otherwise it would have been a penalty, but Danny Rose marshalling him there, keeping close attention. Jordan Ayew not able to get a shot away in anger that time. Joe Linton plays it back into defence there. Jordan Ayew has actually stayed down, I think, there, and Dubravka looking a little bit concerned. Ayew's still prone in the penalty area. See the replay now as it comes onto his right foot, and he just gets bundled over there. I don't think there was any contact. Whether he stayed down now, trying to hope that VAR looks back at it and sides with him, I don't know, but he's just about to get himself back up onto his feet. Didn't look to be any contact to me on the couple of replays that I've seen. He was limping back into his position. Referee's come to say, "Are you okay? Let's get on with this." And Danny Rose has walked away looking the innocent lamb that he is.
Yeah, I think a few people were wondering just where his career was going when he made that move from Tottenham to Newcastle. It was quite early on in the January window, and it seemed that Jose Mourinho just was willing to get rid of him at the first available opportunity. He's still got a chance to push for that Euro 2020 squad. I don't think it's just it seems like it's one of those moves, isn't it, where you leave a top 6 club or a perceived top 6 club, join a team who are generally in the relegation fight. You think, well, is that at the end of his England career? It doesn't have to be, does it? But it's up to him to put the performances in.
I mean, you'd imagine these chances to go forward with Newcastle maybe not quite as good as they would have been with a top 6 club, but defensively he's going to be tested more, isn't he? So the swings and narrows.
He always said he wanted to finish his career up north, didn't he? He's a northern lad, wasn't he? He had a brief spell with Leeds before making the move to Tottenham.
Yeah, absolutely. But that Jordan Ayew thing was interesting. We'll talk about that in a second when this attack breaks down.
Yeah, and here is Zaha, edge of the box, trying to dribble through. Can't quite poke it towards Benteke, and Newcastle try and break. Joe Linton sent crashing to the ground, fouled by Kouyaté, and the referee has given the free kick Newcastle's away. Joe Linton wants the ball back quickly, but Palace are not playing ball. Quite literally not playing ball, but they've taken the free kick now, then trying to knock it up towards Almiron. A bit of head tennis, sees it back to Van Aanholt's feet. And now it's played into midfield. Kouyaté again, the Senegal midfielder, plays it to the feet of Van Aanholt. PSV Eindhoven were trying to sign Van Aanholt in the January transfer window. They were given short shrift by Palace, who know what a vital part he has to play in their season. Of course, we've seen it today with a goal and probably 2 or 3 good balls in that almost produced assists.
He's been central, hasn't he, to most of the good things that Palace have done. So, yeah, absolutely, you wouldn't want to get rid of him. That ball's overhit. It's going to go behind for a goal kick. So allow me to talk about that Jordan Ayew thing. I was listening to a couple of people talking about it the other day, that strikers now, when they're trying to get a penalty inside the penalty box, are staying down for good 2 or 3 minutes, or trying to, because they're thinking, well, if VAR are looking at this and they're still seeing me lying down, then there must have been some kind of contact. Because if they're looking at it back at Stockley Park and he's still on the floor, there must have been some contact, so they're looking for that contact. So it might make the Stockley Park brigade side with them rather than the defender. But on that instance, they didn't. Certainly VAR did not side with him, and he was fresh as a daisy. As soon as he got to the touchline, he was running back on again. So there was no injury at all.
Trying to subtly influence VAR from thousands of miles, well, not thousands, but hundreds of miles away in some cases.
Yeah, we've stopped playing in Iceland, doesn't it?
Yeah, they've moved it since since last week. Probably for the benefit of the referees. But anyway, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 0 is the scoreline. 10 minutes into the second half at Selhurst Park. Palace deservedly a goal up and looking for a second here with the aforementioned Ayew, who turns away from Danny Rose and now just bides a bit of time. He's got support coming from midfield from MacArthur and now to Benteke, now to Zaha really. Zaha trying to curl a shot in towards goal. It's straight down the throat. In fact, it was Benteke. The fact that he got the shot away on target meant that it was Zaha, but it was Benteke.
Oh, that was cruel. Yeah, it was good effort, wasn't it, by Benteke. Wriggled his way through and got that right-footed shot away, just straight at the keeper, wasn't it? There was never any doubt that the keeper was going to save that one. Dubravka's too good to let that one through his mitts, but Benteke, yeah, hit that one nicely.
Crossfield pass looking for Lazaro, and he sends it back now to Fernandes, Lascelles and Share. Maybe there is a case to be made for Newcastle perhaps changing the formation and going with one less defender here to try and chase the game as Joe Linton gets it from that good pass from Share. He's to the byline, he's got support coming in support from San Maximum. San Maximum dribbles one way, dribbles the other to the byline. Can he get a crossing? He's just procrastinated as he plays it back to the edge of the box and there's nobody there in a Newcastle shirt. Well, he looks a threat, doesn't he? He looks exciting, but sometimes the end product still isn't there from San Maximum.
He's got long legs, hasn't he? He's got such balance because he can go one way and then all of a sudden he's 6 foot the other way and he can really wriggle his way through a defence, and the defenders don't want to commit too much, especially around the penalty area. If you try and dive in, you get any contact, he's going to be on the floor. So he's a real threat to the Palace defence. If I was Newcastle, I'd be trying to get the ball to him as much as possible because he looks the only player really in the attack on the basis of this game that has really got the power to hurt Palace.
Yeah, they should be trying to get him one-on-one with the last defender as much as possible, but now the ball breaks to Benteke. He goes with a crossfield pass, so looking for Zaha, trying to chest it down, won't get anything from that. In fact, the referee's given the foul against him as he tried to push his way past Almiron, who'd come back and helping out in defence.
That's a nice ball across from Benteke, wasn't it? He looked up and saw Zaha going down that left-hand side and splayed the ball out to him. Burnley still 1-0 up against Bournemouth. Palace 1-0 up against Newcastle, as we know. Sheffield United 1, Brighton 1, and Southampton 1-0 up against Aston Villa. And talking to people at half-time, Southampton more than deserve that lead.
Yeah, as Newcastle now with Sam Maximum coming forward. He goes for the chip. Oh, what an audacious effort. It's only just sailed over. Possibly without the following wind, that could have nestled in the back of the net. But in fact, no, actually, he was trying to use the wind to hold it up and it just didn't quite blow enough for him.
Yeah, it was a good play, wasn't it? Gets on his right foot and he, again, wriggles his way through. He's got such quick feet and awareness there because the keeper was off his line. He did try and chip him and just the execution was slightly wrong. Good effort, very good effort, and he's the one, as I say, that's the most likely for Newcastle. Get it to him and say, do your stuff.
Yeah, still 1-0 to Palace as we approach the hour mark, and Longstaff knocks it to Fernandes. He has to go back and gets it in return from Dubravka. Longstaff playing it long as well into the channel, but there's nobody there. In fact, he's hitting straight out of play. That was poor from the locally produced player.
And Newcastle can't afford that, can they? Because their possession stats, they're going to be down on possession in this game. When they do get the ball, they need to keep it and they need to use it. And Longstaff just putting that one straight out like a rugby kind of ball rather than a football. Just gifted the possession straight back to Palace.
Thrown in and chested down there by Benteke, but given away. Now Dubravka put under a bit of pressure from Zaha's press, gets it clear up to St Maximin, but he's got 2 men on him and they've stolen the ball. One of them is Zaha and he's now beavering forward, goes past 2 men, brings another challenge on the edge of the box. This time the referee said it was shoulder to shoulder, nothing wrong, and the clearance is made up towards Sam Maximin. He tries to get a foot in again, but it's eventually scraped away. The referee has seen an infringement this time and is given a free kick to Crystal Palace, I think.
My eyes are just straight to our other screen in the studio and just watched Bournemouth level against Burnley. Harry Wilson with the goal there, just stabbing in from the edge of the 6-yard box. Good move from them, so it's 1 apiece now, Burnley against Bournemouth.
I think the free kick's gone Newcastle's way, has it? Oh, I'm not sure. No, it was Crystal Palace's free kick. I think it was for a possible handball by St Maximum. Anyway, play will restart with another Van Arnold free kick. His set-piece delivery's been pretty good today, by and large, in testing conditions. And this one's chipped up to the far post, and aimed towards Cale, who got a good jump in, but just off balance as he headed it. It goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, first instinct, that came off the defender, but obviously came off the top of Cahill's head in the end. Goes behind for a goal kick. Roy Hodgson just patrolling the touchline. Never quite know what he's thinking, apart from when he gets really angry. And then there's a couple of really good videos on YouTube where Roy Hodgson boiling over. Looks quite funny. He's got a little bit of a side to him, but generally speaking, fairly placid. Crystal Palace have the ball just on the edge of the area again. That's where they seem to be living at the moment.
Yeah, and it looks like VAR might have taken that goal away from Bournemouth, by the way, which that will be the first time that VAR has worked in Burnley's favour at home this season. Long ball out from the back towards Joe Linton's over the Brazilian's head and goes straight out of play for a throw-in near the halfway line to Palace.
I don't want to make this commentary about VAR, but that hit the top of his shoulder, didn't it? And they judged that as handball.
Oh, have they?
How does that work?
Well, is that a penalty then?
I mean, I said to somebody at half-time,
He's going to give a penalty here, isn't he?
If you're asked by your school teacher to do a handprint with paint and you put your shoulder in the paint and put a big blob on the page, your school teacher's going to say that's not your hand.
That's got to be one of the most... So I was looking at a different game here, but the VAR decision in the Burnley-Bournemouth game could be the one that takes the cake this season in terms of VAR controversy as the ball's headed away towards... Benteke does well under pressure, but then can only help it towards Longstaff, and he knocks it out towards Rose. Rose now chipping it forward into the totally ineffectual.
He's just been blown away by the wind today. He's very, very poor from him, and yet to see him really do too much in a Newcastle shirt, has to be said. I mean, he's got plenty of skill.
Easily, but there was a bit of a gamble when the whistle hadn't gone anyway. Here can Palace down there, left-hand side with Zaha. Everybody plays the whistle at Selhurst Park right now, as we've gone past the hour mark, and it's still 1-0 with that Van Arnholt free kick. The only difference between the sides on paper, although on the pitch there's quite a big difference between the sides still.
Don't keep it short on VAR, but I like VAR. The principles of VAR is fantastic. If you reach the right result and get a fair result, that's great. But in that instance, Bournemouth 1 minute celebrating full throttle a goal. About 3 minutes later, the goal's been chalked off and they're conceding down at the other end with the penalty. It takes too long, doesn't it? It just takes too long, and all of a sudden the momentum. Harry Wilson, 1 second, is celebrating with the crowd because he scored. That's chalked off, and all of a sudden you're 2-0 down. It can be cruel.
Can be, can't it? But I think in terms of the drama it's provided, then you would never have got that in the past. You know, those decisions didn't exist until it was brought about, and the added drama will mean it's here to stay, I'm sure. They'll just modify the system slightly. Ball into the box here for Newcastle. Comes cannoning off Cher, who suddenly galloped into attack. Rolled out by Gaeta as he claimed it, and now trying to set Palace on their way again. Long ball from Zaha, might reach Ayew, takes it down, but then it's cleared away by Longstaff. Will the keeper keep it in? He's come a long way here as Dubravka, and he eventually knocked it out for a throw-in rather than take his punishment with Benteke lurking by him.
The other thing about VAR, everybody said it was going to take away all the talking points. You'll have nothing to discuss because there've been no controversial offsides, etc., etc. Loads of talking points.
Yeah,
it's all about VAR now, isn't it?
It's not exactly double. I think it's probably about quadruple the amount of talking points this season. Chance for Ayew by the corner flag, can't get beyond both Joe Linton and Longstaff. Clears deep, but there's nobody there because... Palace come forward again with MacArthur out to Zaha. Now he's got a bit of space to work with. Can he attack them in the penalty area? Slips it to Van Arnold, trying to knock it into Benteke's feet, but the gap's closed, the door to the Newcastle central defence closed, and Palace are giving away a free kick as Newcastle got it away.
Brighton 1, Sheffield United 1. खाली Crystal Palace winner बने and Burnley winner बने and Southampton winner बने Sheffield
By Rose this time.
Birmingham
It's up towards Ayew, turns away from Longstaff. Ayew
Burnley
bounces on
winner
Bentaleb's would-be challenge and keeps on going past Bentaleb. He's fouled him now. He's on a yellow card. Emil Bentaleb got to be careful. He turns away and the referee doesn't issue a second yellow. It was just a normal foul, and
I
wasn't even needed for a yellow card.
I think there was a little bit of that first yellow card in Bentaleb's head there, because he allowed Aye to skip past him very easily the first time. And usually I could see Bentaleb sticking a leg in there.
Hey guys,
he refused to, because he knew there was a potential second yellow. So Aye getting a little bit of an easy path past Bentaleb there, whereas Bentaleb's maybe just keeping those legs a bit closer to his chest, if that's possible.
Okay. Free kick again. Van Arnholt will take it. He's been on all the set pieces today.
He's been brilliant.
This one just chips up into the far post area, headed away by Fernandez. Comes to Almiron, who's taking it back into his penalty area, but that's all he could do. Actually, it's queued away towards St Maximum, who's the furthest forward in Newcastle's lineup now. It does seem like St Maximum is playing as the striker, and Joe Linton has gone onto the left-hand side now. This team.
To be fair, if they do just a random clearance, St Maximum is more likely to chase it and win it and to do something with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a clear tactic, isn't it, from Steve Bruce to try and get St Maximum running against the last defender, which is where they want to have him. He's got the ball now and he tries to turn away. He's claiming he's being fouled, and he has been fouled by Cahill. So a free kick to Newcastle. The closer we come to a goal in the second half in the first few minutes.
Offside. Almiron's just been penalised for offside there. He was bursting into the penalty area, but the flag was up. Almiron clutches his head in his hands and gesticulates as he doesn't agree, but looking at the replay, just offside, his shoulder and maybe a right earlobe.
There's a 6 point
going through there, so I think good
for the
decision
5th
by
position. Hey guys, this season is a good news, guys.
Newcastle,
If you get 5th place, you get Champions League spot this season.
Dominated by Crystal Palace.
Manchester are body from the Champions League for 2 years. So if somebody gets 5th place, and Manchester comes in the top 4, and that means who comes in 5th this season gets to go to Champions League.
1-0 down, you're in this game. They haven't got a goal scorer, have they? They have to play really. It's going to be a moment of magic or a bit of brilliant play. They're not going to just benefit from somebody.
They need poaching a goal. They need to take 30 years off Alan Shearer, don't they?
It will be 6, 7, 8 and 0 for the guys.
25 would do it.
It's looking at it. In 11th place, if Arsenal win the next game tomorrow, they'll go to 8th.
Seem to have, when they've had possession, it's largely been in their own half, just passing it around the
tomorrow,
defence.
they get 8th place.
A huge amount with it. Looking further forward this time, across the halfway line. It's a big klaxon there for Newcastle fans. And it's St Maximum who gets the ball, turns and starts to wriggle his way towards the penalty area. Definitely the most likely for Newcastle. Gets it inside. It's onto the left-hand side. Ball comes across, edge of the 6-yard box, cleared away by Crystal Palace. Nobody was in there. Joel Linton was on the near post. Nobody was back post. Then there's a shot from distance. Tipped over the bar by Goita. He has a few high fives with his defenders as a result of that. And the shot from distance, I didn't see who the shot was from, but it was a good effort.
I think it was Fabian Schär, but it was a lovely ball into the penalty area by Almiron, which then saw the...
That's from a long way. It's got a deflection as well, hasn't it? That's got a big deflection, so Goita did really well there to keep that out, really well.
Midway through the second half at Sellers Park, still Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0, but Newcastle starting to show a bit of fight and a bit of penetration finally. Alan St Maximum had one attempted chip earlier that just sailed over the bar, but he's been involved again. Almiron tucked it into the box. His cross to the 6-yard box was scrambled away only as far as Fabian Schär. It's a thunderous 30-yard effort that was tipped over the bar by Gaeta again, but Palace have still been the better team in the second half. Finally Newcastle coming to the fore though. It's Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 0.
Slight clash of heads there between Lascelles and Cahill, but both are fine. The corner's going to be taken from the far side for Newcastle towards the near post, headed away comfortably by the Palace defence, hooked back into the penalty area by Almiron, but then cleared acrobatically by Crystal Palace up towards Benteke, and then it's Jordan Ayew who's taking it on. It's being passed out towards Wilfried Zaha, who's stretching his legs down that left-hand side. Good covering challenge by St Maximum though. He got back quickly and certainly can't criticise his work rate either. He goes forward, but he also gets back in defence too. Ball's played into the penalty area, headed away by Newcastle. It's the hand of MacArthur in the end, and Newcastle have a free kick just on the edge of their own D. St Maximum, He's been the most likely going forward, but on that occasion sprinted back into defence and stopped a quite dangerous-looking attack down that left-hand side of the
Hey guys, if Arsenal win the next 10 to 11 games in the Premier League and Manchester United lose 3 or 4 games, Arsenal could go to the Champions League once for all.
Also against his
I don't know, let me see the fixtures. Let me just see the
just at the
fixtures
back of, I mean, I've
for
probably not
Arsenal. Let's see Arsenal fixtures.
you've got a
Let's see
player against his former
tomorrow.
club. Could it be written in the stars that he scores the goal? That's what they'll be hoping anyway, Newcastle.
So Dwight Gale is on the pitch. Scored loads of goals at Championship level. Not quite replicated that same kind of prowess at the next tier up, but has an opportunity in the last 19 minutes of this game to do something for his Newcastle side. It's Newcastle in possession and in midfield. Ball's played across to the left-hand side. Cross comes in, it's charged down and it goes out to St Maximum on the touchline, who jinks inside again and just gets hauled back. The referee says he didn't. Crystal Palace come away with the ball. It's Koyati stretching his legs and passes the ball out to the left-hand side, but he's wrong-footed. Wilfried Zaha has to get himself back up off the floor, but he's done well there. He's beaten 2 men into the penalty area. Ball's come across. Jordan Ayew on the edge of the penalty spot, and his shot this time. I said his next shot was going to go in the goal. Doesn't, and it goes palmed away by De Bruyne. As a result of that, I think De Bruyne gets heels up there again. He's had some joy from set pieces, but it's played short into the penalty area. And it's whipped across the 6-yard box there by Wilfried Zaha. It's cleared away towards Van Aanholt. And Crystal Palace pick up the second ball again as Jordan Ayew just beats a couple of players now. Van Aanholt on the edge of the penalty area, right-footed cross, gets charged down at the near post by Lascelles. It's going to be another corner to Crystal Palace, who've just upped the ante a little bit in this last 2 minutes. Newcastle back on the back foot after having a couple of forays further forward. You're not allowed to do this at our stadium. We're going to have the ball now and we're going to basically peg you back inside your own penalty area. Crystal Palace doing that very nicely. Corner from the near side. He's had a good game. He's getting closer, but he's not quite scored yet. And that first corner is cleared by Longstaff at the near post, but it slices off his foot and goes behind for a second corner. He stays forward for this one, obviously. Koyati's getting absolutely hauled across the penalty area there by his Newcastle marker. Ball's played in by Van Aanholt again towards the near post. It's flicked on, but straight in that to the hands of Dubravka in the Newcastle goal. He bowls it out into the right hand side. Newcastle trying to squirm the way out of their own half here. Just another foot comes in there for Crystal Palace, but the referee's already blown up. There's a man down further back there for Newcastle. I think it's Shaw's down on the floor.
Yeah.
MacArthur getting penalised for his challenge on him.
I mean, still 1-0. Gale's on the pitch. You just wonder if there is, a chance. Well, there is clearly a chance here for Newcastle to grab an unlikely point from this game.
They need to get the ball though, don't they? And at the moment, Crystal Palace are just denying them too many opportunities to get into the Palace half. It's hard to score from inside your own half, isn't it?
Another booking, and that is MacArthur, who's joined a number of his, not just a number of his teammates, but a number of Newcastle players in the referee's notepad.
Ball's played long by Dubravka, trying to get something going for Newcastle here, but it's been picked up by Crystal Palace. It's inside their own area. MacArthur's bundled to the ground. He's probably just turned around to the referee and said, well, I've got a yellow card, why don't you blow up for that one? But he's allowed to play to continue. Jordan Ayew has the ball inside the centre circle, but the referee again has spotted something amiss, and it's going to be a free kick to Newcastle inside that centre circle. Still a little bit stop-start. Lascelles is on the floor. Still a little bit messy, which suits Palace because Newcastle are just not getting anything moving here at all at the moment. It's 15 minutes left until we've seen the end of the 90. Lascelles goes down very easily there.
I think it was fingers.